And we are live. In this live stream, I'm going to tell you all about my blueberry accident and how I ended up getting the blueberry stains out of my tea towel. And I'm also going to share with you a new laundry detergent that I've purchased. But before we get into that, if you're new to my channel, I'm Denise Jordan, and I teach women to make wise home, health, and beauty decisions. So if you want to learn more about running a household, subscribe. Or if you want to see reviews about products that can benefit you in your home, subscribe, because I do videos on those topics all the time. So hit that subscribe button and tap that little bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Okay, let's jump into it. First of all, I have not found anything to get out blueberry stains. I really pretty much thought it was impossible to get blueberry stains out. And one day, not long ago, I was making blueberry vinegar. Now, here's the finished product. 2 bottles of blueberry vinegar. Hey, Cal, how you doing? Girl, you're going to crack up on me tonight. So I was making some blueberry vinegar, and I learned how to make vinegar from watching Mary at Mary's Nest. And it was time for me to decant the vinegar. So I had put the vinegar in these, I was pouring the vinegar from the jar into a jelly bag. So what I had was a big pitcher like this, and I had set this apparatus on top of this pitcher, and the jelly bag was down inside and it hung down. And so I was kind of decanting the vinegar from the mason jar, pouring it in here like that. Well, I wasn't paying as much attention as I should have. I had my iPad up and I was watching a video, something that Liz at Home Decorating with Liz was doing, hit this doggone pitcher. This thing fell over. Needless to say, I had blueberry vinegar everywhere. Now, the one good part is that most of the vinegar had drained down into this pitcher. So what was pretty much left that was in the bag that was hanging in here wasn't a lot, but it was enough. I had blueberry vinegar all over the counter, all over the floor, and I realized today there was even blueberry vinegar up on the cabinet, so I'm going to have to wash that out. But the other thing was my fall kitchen vignette was on the counter, and I had this tea towel in the bottom of the tray, and I like to kind of drape the towel over the end of the tray like this. So this was on the counter. Well, needless to say, this part was purple, and I mean literally purple from blueberry vinegar. Oh my goodness. I thought, well, I won't tell you what I said. Needless to say, nothing that could be repeated on live video was what I said. And so once I cleaned it all up, I thought, how am I going to get the vinegar stains out of this? But as you can see, they're out. So I will tell you what I did. First of all, there's 3 tips to get out stains, and particularly blueberry stains. And like I said, I've tried to get blueberry stains out before and wasn't successful, but this time I did. So this is what I did, Cal. First of all, I immediately soaked the stain in cold water. Hey, Nicole, how are you doing? You are so right. Blueberry stains are the worst. So I immediately just went and doused it in cold water at the sink, scrubbed it out, didn't lift the stain at all, but I soaked it in cold water. Then I got this OxiClean powder, this OxiClean Revive White, and it comes with like a little cup inside, like this, and I sprinkled the powder all over the towel where the stain was, and then I scrubbed it together like that, So that was tip number 2, is to sprinkle the OxyClean powder all over it, scrub it, and then I soaked it in a bucket of cold water overnight. So tip 1 is to immediately soak it in cold water. Tip 2 is to sprinkle it with OxyClean powder, give it a scrub, and then tip 3 is put it in a bucket of cold water and let it sit overnight. And I have to tell you, I was pretty worried because I only have 4 of these. And I thought, am I down to 3? Because when I scrubbed it, I didn't see a difference. But when I soaked it overnight, the stain came out. And so I just saw Darcy at Organizing Made Easy with Darcy has jumped on. So let me ask you guys, have you guys ever had blueberry stains in something, or either a recalcitrant stain that you just really couldn't get out of something white? But as you can see, the stain came completely out. I soaked it overnight and it came completely out. So I am telling you, this OxyClean Revived White is the truth. And I use this quite a bit. I use it for my dish towels as well because yeah, it's white. I have some white towels that I use for my dish towels and my dishcloths. And so what I will do is when I am done in the kitchen, I will go and I will throw them in a bucket. And then when I'm ready to wash them, I will soak them overnight in this Revived White. And then sometimes I'll even add a little Paracetamol detergent to it. And then I soak them overnight and then I wash them as usual. So putting things out on the line on a cold, frosty night to help get the stains out, I can see that because the cold kind of helps to kind of stop that enzyme action, just kind of interrupts it right where it is, and then that'll give you some time to work on it. I have to tell you guys though, I could not believe it. And my husband wasn't home when it happened. Thank goodness. He would have thought I lost my mind because like I was back there at the counter and all of a sudden I'm like, ah, because there was like vinegar, blueberry vinegar everywhere. And I had to clean it up off the floor, clean it up off the counter, get this soaked up. But I ended up with 2 bottles of blueberry vinegar, and I'm pretty pleased with that. So there's that. And then the other thing that I wanted to share with you guys tonight was also I had bought a new laundry detergent. So let me show you that. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. This thing is heavy. It's going to have to lift it. Yeah, look at this. So this is called Nellie's Laundry Soda. Hey Cindy, how you doing? Ugh. So what I'm doing is sharing with you how to get out blueberry stains, and I've already gone through that. And then I bought this Nellie's Laundry Soda, and I bought it on HSN. I think it was about $65 for this bucket, and this bucket is supposed to clean 600 washes. And since it's a laundry soda, I thought, well, I'll give it a try because I had been trying like Arm & Hammer baking soda, Arm & Hammer baking soda laundry detergent, because it's great at getting odors out and stains out. So when I saw this one, I was open to giving it a try. So I've used it about 4 times, and on each of the loads, they were really kind of tricky. First of all, you guys know that I will often do laundry for other people when I want to practice things in my laundry lab. And I was talking to my sister Max earlier, and I was telling her about this really stinky duvet cover that I had to wash. This particular person that I had gotten it from, her mother or someone in their home had had a real bad case of diarrhea. And so she called to tell me what had happened. And I said, right away, soak it in I said, suds it out and then, suds it out and then soak it in your bathtub in cold water. So she did. Well, then she called me a couple days later and said, and I couldn't come to get the the duvet cover right then because we had some things going on in our family, so I couldn't go over there to get it. And so she called me a couple days later and she said, that duvet cover is really stinking. It's got the whole house smelling. So she took it out of the tub and put it in a big garbage bag and tied it up. So when I went over there to get it, and I opened that bag, like, it was really, really stinky. So now not only did I have a duvet cover that I was going to work on in the laundry lab to try to get like the poop stains out, now I got a duvet cover that smells to high heavens, kind of like mildew or that kind of thing. And I mean, cow, it was really pretty stinky. So this is what I did to get that duvet cover clean. So, and there's very similar things with that. Like I told her to soak the duvet cover in the tub so she could get the poop out, number one. Once she, soak it in the tub, scrub it out a little bit like that. So she did that. But then when I was ready to run it through the wash, and then I had that odor to deal with, the first thing I did when I ran it through the wash, this container of detergent is supposed to last for 600 loads. 600 loads, and you're only supposed to need 1 tablespoon for a regular size load. So what I did was I got a little piece of paper like this, and I am putting like how many loads I wash. Like each time I've got that on the top of the container, and so I will mark when I do a load of laundry using that, and we will just see if I get 600 loads out of it. But my biggest concern was that it was a laundry soda. So I was hoping it was kind of like baking soda and would be really good with odors. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to try it. And I thought, what better thing to try it on than that stinky duvet cover? So I put and I have one of those agitator-less washers. So there's no agitator in the center. It's just got like a little flat, little thin thing at the bottom. So I can get a whole big duvet in my washer, which is why this particular person called me. So what I did was I put the duvet in the wash and I ran it through on cold water and 1 cup of white vinegar as the detergent. I didn't put any detergent in there. I just ran it through with 1 cup of white vinegar and then ran it through in cold water. Then I washed it again, but I put the Nellie's laundry soda in, and instead of 1 tablespoon, I put in 2. Since I was running it as like an extra large load, I put in 2 tablespoons of the laundry soda, and I put a half a cup of white vinegar in the fabric softener dispenser so that it would wash with the laundry soda, and then the fabric softener would be the vinegar. And a half a cup to a cup of vinegar in the rinse water just really gets rid of any remaining odor and takes care of any residue, and you can't smell the vinegar. And it came out beautifully. So this Nellie's laundry soda really did a good job on that. So I was real pleased with that. Now, like I said, I just started using it. So I used it on that duvet cover. And then I had some towels for this same person to wash, and I used it on the towels. And I always put vinegar in the rinse cycle with the towels instead of fabric softener because that helps to make the towels more absorbent. When you put that fabric softener in the towels, it just kind of coats the fiber. Then they don't absorb as much. So I used the Nellie's laundry soap in the towels, put the vinegar in the rinse cycle, and the towels came out beautifully. So I'm very pleased with it so far. Now, like I said, it is relatively new. I did check out a couple of reviews on it just to see what people were saying about it. Because when I bought it, I actually hadn't looked at any reviews. I just thought, a new laundry detergent, I'll give it a try. I'm always up to try a new laundry detergent because you guys know how I love laundry and I love to try new things in the laundry lab. So Cindy, you said you usually use pine saw in your laundry. Do you use it in your rinse cycle or do you use it in your wash cycle? Where do you use the pine saw? Would be interesting to know. Vinegar in the rinse cycle or even vinegar in the wash cycle and then in the rinse cycle doesn't leave an odor. So once it's all washed and rinsed out, there's no odor. Is there a residual odor with the pine saw is my question. I'm kind of curious about that. Now, let me give you, though, a couple of reviews about this Nellie's Laundry Soda. And I'm only going to give you two since I'm not really doing a product review tonight. I just wanted to share with you how I got that blueberry stain out because I was just so excited. I thought, I have got to tell people about this. And then I thought, well, while I was talking to you about how to get the blueberry stain out, I go ahead and share with you my new laundry detergent and how well it worked on getting out the odor when I was washing that duvet that had some smelly stuff on it. Okay, so you put the pine sol in the wash with the detergent and then there's no odor when it comes out. Okay, I get that. Well, let me give you the two reviews on this Nellie's Laundry Soda. So the first review that I looked at was the worst review. And this person said after 1 year of using this Nellie's laundry soap, there was an off smell on her clothes and the clothes weren't white. Even using Nellie's brightener, the clothes weren't as white as she thought they ought to be. She felt they just looked kind of dull. So I thought that was interesting because when you're using like a baking soda, I'm expecting them to be a lot brighter. So we'll see. I'll keep an eye on that. And to be honest, I probably won't use that for my whites. I use Persil for my whites and the Housecleaning Revive. So I probably won't be using this for my whites, but I will be using it for my towels. Now, the best review said they loved it. I mean, this woman said that she loved it and felt that she would never use anything else. She said it was really great. She's complained about when she first started using it. She had a smelly odor coming from her washer, and it was as a result of how sometimes liquid detergent can kind of get kind of gunky and build up gunk and that kind of thing in the washer around some of the little gaskets and things like that. So she said she cleaned her washer out and started using this Nellie's Laundry Soda, and she's not had that problem since. And so she wouldn't use anything else. I'm always on the lookout, though, for something new because I want to share with my audience if there's a new detergent that's better than what I'm currently using. I want to share. So I thought that was kind of fun just to kind of test it out. Now, when I ordered it, I saw it on HSN. And my husband was like, wait, what? Because, I mean, it was $65. But I'm like, honey, it's for 600 loads. It'll last us, like a whole year, if not longer. Probably 2 or 3 years, considering it's just the two of us. My favorite laundry detergent is Persil. 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 That Persil is the truth. I took the Persil challenge about a year ago. And if you've not seen that video, I will link it above and below. I think I can link it to a live stream, but it won't happen tonight. But I'll link that. And I really like the Persil. Now, Cal said she uses everything. And Cal, I pretty much used to just use Tide. I like Tide detergent, the Tide pods. I pretty much just use Tide. And I was starting to switch to let me show you what it looks like. Hang on for a second and I'll grab it. This is a big no-no. You're not supposed to leave the screen, but I'm going to grab it. Hang on. All right. Now, whether or not I can cut out that one little part, I don't know because YouTube, but this is Persil, and this is the truth. I really like this Persil, and it's really great on whitening. Like, I am old school. I want my husband's white shirts to be white. I want them nice and bright, and I do not want him to have a ring around the collar. So since he retired from teaching school, the last couple of years, he has a part-time job where he works as an usher out at the Coliseum. So you've seen some of you'll see some of the older gents And they wear like the red jackets, and they kind of show people where their seats are and stuff like that. So he does that part-time. So his people out there, they always say he has the whitest shirts of all the people in the group. And I'm like, well, they better be, because I want him to have bright white shirts. And this Paracel is the truth. I really like it. And you know what? You can take the Paracel challenge yourself. And then if you use it and don't like it, I think, you might be able to get your money back. But it's like, I want them to send me a coupon so I can buy some more. And I've repurchased this several times. I love it. So if you've not tried it, try it. I even tried it on baby clothes, and it did a great job on the baby clothes too. My little niece was about 18 months old when I tried it on her clothing, and there was no irritants. The clothes came out nice and clean. They were soft, and they smelled wonderful. I remember Argo starch, and like Argo cornstarch, and you use it in cooking. Oh, you're talking about spray starch, when you would like starch shirts and those kind of things. Yeah, I remember that too. Now, when I'm not using Paracel, oh, you don't need both. Like, I use Paracel in place of detergent. I used to use the Tide. When I discovered Paracel, I switched over from Tide to Paracel. And if I'm not using Paracel, I'm using Tide. I'm happy to be out of Tide right now. And I like to get the Tide pods because, well, my husband does laundry, which isn't often, but when he does, he just fills the whole cup up and then just pours the whole cup in. But if I get the pods, he'll just drop in one pod or two pods, and so it's not as much of a waste. But this is a complete detergent all on its own. And it's got what they call 10 dimensions of clean. And so, stain fighting, whitening, brightening, anti-graying, clean rinsing, long lasting freshness, odor fighting, cold water cleaning, clean fresh scent, and also has fiber care. So yeah. So if you use this, you don't need to use anything else. So when I use this, I don't use anything else. Now, if the ring around the collar looks kind of bad, and when he wears his white shirts, I say, honey, wear the shirt one time and then put it in the wash, because I don't want the collar to get too heavily stained. He says, well, I can wear a shirt twice and it's not dirty. Well, it may not look dirty, but the collar, you get sweat and oil and that kind of thing around it. So if he wears it twice, no, I never mixed up a starch to do any kind of shirts. But anyway, so for ring around the collar, I'll pour this on the collar and then scrub it sometimes. Or I might use the OxiClean gel stick on the collar. Or I'll put this like right on the collar, give the collar a scrub, and then wash it as usual. Now, I don't use all. I've used it occasionally a long time ago, but I was pretty much a Tide baby. And when I grew up, you use Tide for everything. Tide for dishes, Tide for laundry, Tide for mopping, because there was just a soap powder and you used it for everything. And then as the years progressed, then you had Tide for dishes. You had your dishwashing liquid that was Tide, and then you had your laundry detergent. So then you begin to have two different products for different things. Gosh, that shows you guys how old I am. But yeah, when I was a girl, you'd have the box of Tide, and it would have on there for the dishes and for laundry and everything like that. So yeah, I would certainly suggest trying this Paracel if you have not. And I'll put a link in it below, Cindy, since you seem to be interested in it. But yeah, and like you can get it at Walmart and you can get it at Target. Yeah, you can get it at Walmart and you can get it at Target. And I suggest go online and see if you can print off a coupon. If you go to the Paracel website, because the first time I bought it, I printed off a $2 off coupon. And hey, $2 off, that was pretty darn good. And you use it just like you would Tide or All or whatever. I've also tried using this, and it's pretty good as well. It's not as good as Paracel or Tide, but it comes in third. And I had looked at a news release where an independent company had done some product reviews on Tide, Paracel, and this Arm & Hammer. And Paracel came in number 1, Tide came in number 2, and then this Arm & Hammer came in number 3. I keep saying I'm going to do another video where I'm going to challenge that football guy, that Gronkowski, who claimed that he washed a shirt that had chocolate sauce on it and put a whole bottle of Arm & Hammer dish detergent in there, and it still came out with the stain on it, and then one Tide Pod and it came out clean. I thought, I'm going to duplicate that, only I'm going to do it right. I mean, who puts a whole bottle of detergent in a wash anyway? Number one, who does that? And number two, who would throw in a shirt with chocolate sauce on it and not treat the stain? I mean, who does that? So I'm planning on doing that, and we'll do that later. Oh, you know, Cal, I don't know if that's true. Tide is owned by Procter and Gamble. I haven't heard anything like that about Tide. Yeah, I haven't heard anything like that about Tide. Have I tried the stain stick? Oh yeah, I got an Oxygel stain stick right over there in my laundry pantry. Yes, I do. I use it, and I used to use that on my husband's collars. Like I would take the laundry stick, and then let's say this is a shirt, and then I would just kind of go along the collar like that, give the collar a scrub, and then let it sit overnight, and then I would throw it in the wash. Collars would come out fine. One person on one of the videos that had watched the videos accused me of swapping out the shirt, bringing out a new shirt instead of the original shirt. I'm like, that is unethical. I would not do that. But it was a thought. But no, I would not do that. And I've never done that, but I guess maybe they do that on TV for real, whatever. I don't know. And so my sister, Mickey, when I was telling her about the blueberry stain and the problem that I was having with that, she was like, oh, that would have been a great video. And I'm like, girl, I had blueberry stuff everywhere. And I wasn't filming when that happened. I was like working and listening to Home Decorating with Liz when I had this mess. And there's no way I could have filmed all that. But as I think about it in retrospect, you guys would have got a good laugh to, number one, have seen that blueberry stuff flying everywhere and then watching me scramble around to clean it up, not to mention the words that came out of my mouth. You guys would have got a good laugh. Yes. So, but yeah, so if you've got to get odors out, cleaning vinegar will do that. And then your detergent that has your baking soda in it is pretty good for that too. And I know the Paracel is supposed to be good for getting odors out, that kind of thing. But when I have really bad odors that I have to get out, I would use the vinegar first, and then I'll go with the rest of it. And then someone on here said they had a problem with their towels. And I've done a video on how to keep your towels soft and fluffy. But the biggest thing with towels is that, typically when we do laundry, most of us throw in fabric softener in the fabric softener cycle, or we put it in the dryer. And the fabric softener coats the follicles on the fibers, I should say, on the towels. And so when it does that, it makes the towels less absorbent. So number one, if you buy towels brand new, you need to wash them before you use them because there's chemicals on them and they won't be very absorbent until you wash them. But over time, if you wash them quite a bit and you use fabric softener most of the time, the fabric softener product builds up a residue in the fibers of the towels, and then they become less absorbent and they get kind of hard and scratchy. So replace your fabric softener in your towels with a 1/2 cup of white vinegar, and they'll come out a lot softer. And I've got a video on that. I'll link it below. You can use dryer sheets in with your towels, just like you can use dryer sheets in with anything else. But dryer sheets are still chemicals. Dryer sheets are still chemicals, so those chemicals will get into the towels and it can coat the fibers. Now, Nicole at Neston Haven says she's a millennial and she heard that millennials don't use fabric softener. Well, I have not heard that. I have not heard that millennials didn't use fabric softener, but I wouldn't be surprised because my son, my youngest son, who is a millennial, we were talking about doing laundry. He said he just throws them all in. Now, him and his wife, they've got 2 little girls. He said, we don't do all that sorting. We just throw it all in at once. I'm like, what? Now, that is not how I taught him to do laundry. And I'm still pretty old school when it comes to that. So I will sort lights and darks. And then I've got like my soft whites. And my soft whites are like my husband's white shirts or white lingerie. Those are soft whites. Hard whites would be tidy whitey underwear or white socks or white t-shirts, things like that. So those are hard whites. So I've got soft whites, which could be also my white uniforms when I was wearing white uniforms. I don't wear them anymore. My white lab coat. But so soft whites are those kinds of things. And then hard whites are, like I said, socks and all of that. Mrs. Meyer's brands, the question is, aren't Mrs. Meyer's brands supposed to be natural? They are, but I have not been real enamored with the Mrs. Meyer's laundry detergent. I've tried it in the lavender scent, and it was okay, but I didn't like it enough that I bought it again. Like, I purchased this Paracel several times. I'll try other things. Darcy, dryer balls. I've got some and I just started using these dryer balls. I have a box of woolly balls. There's 3 dryer balls in the box. They're supposed to get 100 wash loads and I've been using them. And I've been marking down how many washes that I get out of them because Inspired Living with Christy asked me about them because when she saw me haul them, she said she was wondering how they would work. So I've been using them and just kind of taking notes to myself. So Darcy, you'll be the first one to hear me actually review them. So what I find with the dryer balls, so does somebody, the only raw goddess, she said she's been using dryer balls for years and she likes them. I just started using them. And like I said, I've only probably used them about 15 times. So the box that I got says you put all 3 in the dryer at once. You should get 100 wash loads, I believe, out of them. And I've used them about 15 times. And what I noticed when I put them in with my sheets, and sometimes with my husband's kind of silky undershirts, I can hear a tad bit of static clean when I take the things out of the dryer. Now, when I use dryer sheets, I've not had that issue. And I don't use liquid fabric softener as a rule. I will occasionally use it, but as a rule, I used to use dryer sheets only. I like the bounce dryer sheets, but I decided to give the woolly balls a try. So I've not purchased any since I bought those. And when I wash my towels, I replace the fabric softener. I put the half a cup of white vinegar in the fabric softener cycle, and that's what I use on the towels. So now, the one and only goddess said she's been using the dryer balls for years and she likes it. So let me ask you, goddess, have you had a problem with static clean with the dryer balls? Not many of us wear underslips anymore, and that would have been the biggest issue when you'd wear an underslip and it would crawl up. And when it crawled up, it would make your dress kind of hike up funny. So Cal said she never uses liquid fabric softener, and I really don't use it very much. I like the dryer sheets. And so Cal, probably once I get done with these dryer balls, I'll probably buy the dryer sheets again. And I tell you, when I was washing that duvet, I thought, gosh, I wish I had some dryer sheets. Well, I didn't. So I put the vinegar in the fabric softener cycle to replace it with there because, you know, I'm used to doing fabric softener. So Goddess, though, have you had a problem with static cling with the dryer balls on those? That's what I noticed, a tad bit of static cling. I haven't noticed any pilling on the balls or anything like that yet. So overall, I've been pretty much satisfied with them, but I've only used them 15 times. Oh, hers are plastic. And she had hers are plastic dryer balls, and she said she had a little bit of static cling when she didn't use the fabric softener in the wash. Okay, so yours are plastic dryer balls. Tell me how the plastic dryer balls work. Same way as the woolly balls, I would guess. You just throw them in, and them bouncing around in there just kind of helps to keep things soft, I guess. Because I guess the woolly balls, there shouldn't be any chemicals in them. So I don't think. I'll have to read the box to see. So Darcy, what do you use when you wash your laundry? What detergent do you use? And Cindy, what time is it there? If you're going out somewhere tonight to buy detergent, what time is it there? It's what? It's after 10 o'clock here. So the Goddess says she has two that she puts in, and they have like little nubs that stick out, and they just bounce around, bounce around. I'll have to do a little more investigation on the balls. I haven't, because I haven't like used them enough to really be able to speak well about them or even negatively, other than the fact that I've gotten a little bit of static clean. Now, Tide. Darcy said she mostly uses Tide. Oh, and then Carol, well, yeah, Walmart stays open 24 hours, but who wants to go out at 10 o'clock just to buy laundry detergent? Cindy, if it's dark there, you better wait and go and get that detergent tomorrow. Because, folks are a little crazy in different places. So unless you're out. This was a fun talk. I hadn't really intended to even be on this long. I thought I would just share with you guys my news. For those of you that jumped on late, I came on because I had a disaster with blueberry vinegar. So for those of you that missed it, this is the blueberry vinegar that I made. I made 2 bottles of it. And I had spilled it when I was making it. I knocked over the container that I was working with and had blueberry vinegar everywhere. Now, see, the Goddess says that she likes Tide as well and doesn't care for Mrs. Meyer's laundry soap. I have to agree with you. I like Tide as well, and I didn't care for the Mrs. Meyer's laundry soap. Now, I did buy some of the Grove Collaborative's laundry soap. They have some laundry soap in a lavender scent, and it got this new little dispenser. I'm a sucker for trying new things, and I've used it a couple of times. And the way it works is it's got like a little, well, let me just grab it. I'll take you guys over there with me so that I don't leave the screen again, because you're not supposed to leave the screen like I did before. So, but here's my laundry area here, right up here. And right here is the dispenser that I bought for the Grove Collaborative laundry soap. So this is what it looks like. And the way it's supposed to work is that, you just turn it upside down and you automatically get the right amount of detergent dispensed in the cap, and then you just pour that in. So I've used that a couple of times, and I like the scent of lavender. So that was why I thought I'd give it a try. And like I said, I'm always on the lookout for a new detergent or a new something to use as a fabric softener in the dryer or something like that. So I wasn't opposed to trying something new, but I would always go back to Tide Well, now I go back to Paracel or Tide. And I bought this Arm& Hammer though because I want to do that video where I challenge that Gronkowski guy and show him how you really get chocolate sauce out. So I bought a white blouse, a little girl's white blouse, and I've got some chocolate sauce in the fridge, and I'm gonna pour chocolate sauce on it, and then show him how you're really supposed to clean something with a stain on it like that. Oh, and guys, guess what I'm going to do? This is totally off topic, but several of you that are on here are people that I really know very well and follow me all the time. I am going to Vegas this weekend to Grow with Live video offered by Sean Cannell. I am just so excited, just so excited. So there's going to be lots of people in the room that are like YouTube creators, just YouTube creators all over the place. And all of us are there because we want to learn how to do a better job of growing our YouTube channels. So I'm really excited about that. So, and I'm hoping to do some collaborations while I'm there. So yeah, Nicole, it's going to be like a working conference, but I'm hoping to do some collabs while I'm there. Like this one lady that I've met, her name is, I met her online. Her name is Mary Cahill, and she's really big on Facebook as a lactation specialist, but she's just starting to grow her YouTube channel. So I'm going to work with her and show her how to do some YouTube stuff, and then introduce her to my audience, because I have a lot of mostly women in my audience, and I know at least one of my ladies is now pregnant, and there could be others that I don't know about, in the 10,000 subscribers that I have. So I'm looking forward to introducing her to all of you while she talks about like the importance of breastfeeding. And YouTube can be so funny sometimes. We're going to have to really be kind of discreet as to how we handle that conversation, because I don't want to end up getting censored or get in trouble. And then I'm going to do a talk for her audience on how to get poop out of baby clothes, because she said that babies that are breastfed, the poop is kind of orange, and she said it really stains the clothing and it's really hard to get out. So I'm going to talk about that. And you guys know how I love to talk about laundry. So that's what we're going to be getting together to do that. And so we'll see. I'm really excited about doing that this weekend. So yeah, so she said it's really hard to get out of stuff. So I'm going to talk about that for her audience. So who knows, maybe I'll get some new people coming over from her Facebook group, and she'll get some new people coming over to her Facebook group who are interested in breastfeeding, because she's a breastfeeding specialist from our groups. So that'll be kind of cool. Just really kind of cool. Hey, there's Keith from Better with Improv. How you doing? He's going to be at Vegas this weekend. Keith, I'm on task tonight. I'm talking about how to get out blueberry stains, and which we've already done that. And then I talked about some new laundry detergent that I was trying. So we've been sharing tips on there. And I was totally off task when I was telling them how excited I was about going to Grow with Video Live this weekend. So yes, I'm really excited about that. So, and meeting you and lots of other people that I've only seen their names in the Facebook group, but now I'm going to get to actually meet quite a few of them. And while I'm thinking about this, I've got 8 of you guys on. If I could get 8 thumbs up, that would just be totally great. That would just kind of help me out a little bit. Do you guys have any other questions about laundry that we can address, since we're talking about that, or whatever? Otherwise, we probably should call it a night. So any other questions? Well, since it doesn't look like it is, then why don't I just kind of wrap this up? And it looks like somebody else just joined us. Oh, the vinegar. So the best way to wash new clothes so colors don't bleed is wash them in cold water. The other thing you can do is wash them in cold water with vinegar, because you can use vinegar to kind of help set the colors. Like if you think about it, when you color Easter eggs and you put a little bit of vinegar in there to color the Easter eggs, it helps to set the dye. So wash the clothes in cold water, or cold water with maybe a half a cup to a cup of white vinegar in the rinse cycle, and that'll just kind of help set the color. There's some other stuff that you can buy, and I can't think of the name of it right now, that helps to keep colors from bleeding, but I can't think of the name of it right now. But I used to have a little packet of it sitting up in my laundry pantry, but I think I've ended up pitching it. Cal said she has a problem with her towels being hard. Now, Cal, you get hard, scratchy towels when their fibers are coated with residue from fabric softener. So you probably need to wash your towels a couple of times in vinegar. So like, as I was explaining earlier, put them in your wash cycle and wash them with a cup of white vinegar in the wash water. No detergent. Just put in 1 cup of white vinegar in the wash water and wash them and let them run through. Then you can wash them a second time, but when you run them through the second time, you can put in whatever normal detergent you put in, but replace your fabric softener, and that includes your dryer sheets, with 1/2 cup of white vinegar in the dispenser, in the fabric softener dispenser. And that will help them not be so stiff and scratchy. It helps them become more fluffy. And I've got a video on that, Cal, so I'm going to link that one up. Let me write myself a note. Link the towel video. Oh, Darcy, you are so welcome. It's really fun. I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I think, Darcy, we have really created a very nice community here on YouTube. And I like that. You know, we are very supportive of one another, trying to help each other grow. And I have certainly enjoyed all the ladies that I've met. And there's been a few guys that we've also met that we're kind of all lifting each other up together. And I enjoy that. So yeah. And you guys help me. Like when we're talking about laundry and that kind of thing, you guys are asking me questions. That just gives me fodder for other videos. So like, you know I need to do another video about towels, stiff, scratchy towels. Like I did a video on how to keep your towels soft and fluffy. Well, and it's one of my videos that always does well. You know, we were just talking about looking at our analytics on Shout Out Sunday and how to use that to grow. And that towel video consistently comes up. So I need to repeat that, but in a different way. So Cal has given me the idea. I'm going to redo that video, but it's going to be how to handle stiff, scratchy towels or something like that in the title, rather than how to get your towels soft and fluffy, how to handle stiff, scratchy towels. How do you handle stiff, scratchy towels? Wash them with vinegar and water, and then wash them a second time with vinegar in the rinse cycle. No fabric softener. Get rid of all that residue on the fibers and they'll be soft again, or at least softer. You know, over time, with a certain amount of age, your fibers start to break down, that kind of thing. But for the most part, that's what does it. Keith, what kind of laundry dilemmas do you have? Or do you have any? Any other laundry questions? Because like I said, when you guys ask these questions, it gives me ideas on what videos I need to make. You have many. Well, just give me 2. What are 2 of your laundry dilemmas, Keith? Just tell me 2 of your laundry dilemmas. Oh, now see, Nicole, what's the best way to get the stink out of your laundry when you forget to? See, I've done a video on that already. The best way to get the stink out is what I was sharing with you guys earlier. If you want to get the stink out, the first thing you want to do is to run the wash through on cold water with 1 cup of white vinegar. And the issue is that sometimes, when you've let things sit, either in the wash or your kids have let a pile of towels, sit in the bathroom, kind of bacteria, that kind of thing that causes odor is what's the problem. Bacteria grows there and they cause an odor in the towel. So what you want to do is run it through one wash cycle with 1 cup of white vinegar and water, no detergent. But then once that cycles all the way through, then you want to run it through with your detergent, and you put the 1/2 cup of white vinegar in your rinse cycle. That should take the odor out. If it does not, like when you run it through the first time, the second time, and you smell, hey Brianna Sky, when you run it through the second time with the vinegar in the rinse cycle, if you still smell an odor in there, then you might want to do a wash cycle and replace your detergent with baking soda. And then wash it again with your laundry detergent. So first time, try it with 1 cup of white vinegar and cold water and run that through. See how it smells. If you kind of feel like you can still smell something, then run it through again. Only this time, instead of putting detergent in it, you might want to replace it with baking soda. And then put vinegar in the rinse cycle. And then the next time, launder it as usual with your detergent with vinegar in the rinse cycle. And so now, Keith, if you're forgetting to get the wash out of the washer, your washer should have an alarm on it. But if not, I think Nicole, someone just said, set an alarm. Ring around the collar. I got you covered. I've probably got 2 videos on ring around the collar. But this is what you do, Keith, for ring around the collar. I'm old school, and I want to make sure that you don't have ring around the collar. My husband has the best white shirt. So this is what you do for ring around the collar. Well, there's a couple things you can do. First of all, one thing you can do to make it easy, there's the OxiClean gel stick. Let's say this is a shirt. And I've got a gel stick I've got a gel stick over there. Let me go get it. I'll take you guys with me though, because I already did the no once where I walked away from the video. So let me get that. So, okay. I should have just put the whole laundry pantry on the table, but I wasn't planning on getting into all of this tonight. I thought we were going to talk about one thing and that would have been it, but this is fun. I love laundry. Okay. So here's your OxiClean gel stick. Now, this little thing is amazing, and I really like using it. So let's say this is a shirt. So one easy way, Keith, is take your shirt, take your gel stick along your collar, and then you're going to give it a scrub like that. And then let it sit for 20 minutes or let it sit overnight, and then launder it as usual. That's one way to attack ring around the collar. What I usually do for my husband's white shirts, I will use this OxiClean White Revive. This stuff is amazing. It is the truth. So I'll take this little cup here and I'll sprinkle it right along the collar area, and then I will wet it and then give it a good scrub, let it sit overnight, or put it in a bucket of cold water. Like I'll put the collar portion in a bucket of cold water, let it sit overnight, and then throw it in the wash as usual. And when I wash it, I will wash it with Paracel, and I will also add maybe a 1/2 cup of this OxiClean White Revive in the wash, and his shirts come out beautifully. So that's how you handle ring around the collar. So was that helpful? Does that make sense for you guys? Okay, yeah, it's pretty easy. The thing is too, Keith, when you wash your white shirts, make sure your white shirts are only with your white shirts. As I was sharing earlier, there are soft whites and there are hard whites. Soft whites are your white shirts, your white dress shirts. Those are soft whites. And if you've got some really super white t-shirts, those are soft whites. But white t-shirts with any kind of print on them, white gym socks, tidy whitey underwear, anything else, those are hard whites. And you don't wash them with your white shirts because the little grunge or gray in that water rubs off on your white shirts. So soft whites and hard whites, keep them separate. I know today's people like to wash everything together, but I am old school and my laundry comes out pretty darn good. So Nicole, you've got two little ones. What laundry dilemmas do you have? I think it's two little ones that I've seen on your channel. Food stains mostly. Yeah, and you know, when I did the video on how to get like stains out of baby clothes, that kind of thing, the big thing with food stains for children is that you get it off the child as soon as possible. Soak it in cold water. If that's the first thing you always want to do is soak it in cold water. And then high iodine, soak it in cold water. 2, treat the stain, and you want to treat it with whatever you have. Whereas I like to use OxyClean or I like to use this. If you don't have that, then treat it with whatever you have. If you've got Arm & Hammer baking soda, if you've got, I don't know, Gain or some off-brand stuff, get it off the child as soon as possible. Soak it in cold water. Treat it with whatever laundry detergent you have. And what do I mean by treat it? Pour it on, give it a scrub, let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes or soak it overnight, and that should get the stain out. That's the biggest thing. If you don't treat it right away and then it gets set, then that can be the problem. Hey, Ordine, sorry to not greet you very well, but we are talking about different laundry problems now. I already shared my big disaster when I was making vinegar and had blueberry vinegar everywhere, but look at my bottles of blueberry vinegar. Are they not beautiful? As Lady Phoenix says, aren't they beautiful? Nope, don't take that top off. I was going to say I'll take that top off and have a problem here again. Yeah, they really turned out nice, so I'm really pleased with those. I made the strawberry vinegar first, and now I've made that one. Slime. You mean the slime that the kids make? That's hard to get off of clothes? Now that, I don't know a thing about slime. When my grandchildren were here and my son was here, they made slime here in the kitchen. So I've got a video showing them putting all that stuff together and all of that. But I've not had to deal with it afterwards. So I don't know the problem that comes with that. So let me write that down. I'll have to check that out. Slime on clothing. I'll see. What other videos would you guys like to see me make regarding laundry? Oh, slime hardens on so bad. How do you get it out, Nicole? What do? Do you soak it to soften it up or does it stay hard? Because I don't have a clue. Some little moth has gotten in the house. It's just floating all around. So yeah, how do you get the slime off? Does it harden or can you soak it and then it goes away? You got a pile of clothes with slime on it? Ooh. I thought your kids were smaller than that. I might be mixing you up with someone else then. Then again, though, my 6-year-old or 8-year-old granddaughter, they were into making slime. So, yeah. Well, this has been a fun discussion. So any other laundry dilemmas people want me to make a video about? One outfit from each of them. Yeah, kids love to make slime. Yeah, they just did it the ones here. That's how I ended up with my box of borax, because they made slime. And so my son went out and bought some borax. I had forgotten about borax, but I love it. It's such a good product to use in the wash. So at least you've got some borax. So, Ordine, what are your laundry dilemmas? You don't do laundry too much. Well, who does your laundry? Does your hubby do it? You send it out? What happens with it? Oh, your son. Oh my gosh, it never ends. Now, you're right about that. I was talking to one of my girlfriends about laundry, and I told her I did a load of laundry every day. She's like, there's only 2 of you there. How can you do a load of laundry every day? I said, well, my husband generates enough clothes for a 2-year-old. I swear he generates enough laundry for a 2-year-old. But then again, though, men do, well, I shouldn't make that generalized, but in my family, in our home, he does things that I don't do. He does a lot of outdoor work that I don't do. So he's out cutting the grass, and so, or he's out fishing or out working outside or whatever. So he uses a lot more clothing in the summertime. And then in the wintertime, there's different layers of clothing he's using for shoveling snow and whatever is going on. So it's like the laundry is just never ending. His laundry hamper is always full. So I try to do 1 load a day. And I was talking to 2 young ladies the other day, and they were talking about the problem with laundry. And I said, ladies, just do a load a day, 1 small load a day, and you won't have to worry about so much laundry. And you know, I like to use the Fly Lady method. And she says 1 load a day keeps Mount Washmore away. And that's true. You do 1 load a day and, you know, you stay on top of it. So yeah. Well, listen, I better let you guys go. I hadn't intended to keep you guys on this long, but I hope you guys enjoyed my discussion regarding how to get out blueberry stains, 3 tips. And so the 3 tips on how to get out blueberry stains is, first of all, to soak the garment in cold water right away. Number 2, treat the garment with some kind of a stain remover, or if you don't have a stain remover such as this, and this is what I use, then use whatever laundry detergent you have right away, put it on there, give it a good scrub, and then let it soak overnight, and that should take care of it. Now, other laundry detergents that I've used have not taken care of blueberry stains, but this one did. So that was to sum everything up. And if you like this video, I've got a few other videos that I think you will enjoy. I will link some of my other laundry videos up above and below. And then since we're coming up on the Thanksgiving holiday, I'm also going to link my Thanksgiving 101 playlist so that you can check out that playlist so you can see what kind of goodies you can make yourself for Thanksgiving. And just so you know, I've raised 3 children. I've managed a home for more than 45 years, and I am a nurse by profession. So if you want to learn more about running a household, cooking and cleaning and laundry and health and beauty, subscribe. I would love to have you as a member of the TNT community. In the meantime, this is Denise Jordan saying goodbye. I will see you guys at the next video. And Keith, I will see you on Saturday at Grow with Video Live. Bye.